India operates 8 manufacturing plants in India, and Alpla globally operates 181 plants worldwide in 46 countries. One of the world leaders in rigid packaging, Alpla employs approximately 21,000 employees and clocked a turnover of 3.8 billion euro in 2019. Their core technologies are injection molding, extrusion blow molding, injection molding of preforms, injection blow molding and stretch blow molding, and they provide packaging solutions for cosmetics, food, household cleaning, oils, lubricants, over-the-counter medicines, milk and dairy products, and crop protection, the essentials in the pandemic. We have with us on the show today, Mr. Vagesh Dikshit, Chief Engagement Officer, Alpla Global, and Managing Director and Partner of Alpla India. Delighted to introduce on my show and announce with extreme happiness and pride that Vagesh ji has been nominated as the Honorary Consul of Austria for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The man with many hats, Vagesh ji. A very warm welcome to my show, Insights with Nidhi Verma.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Honor is all ours. I also join all my viewers to heartily congratulate you, sir, for this very deserved honor. And we know that you will set new standards at this prestigious role too.
Thank you.
We have seen you at the pinnacle at Alpla growing from strength to strength for the last 15 years since you invited them. How did you all begin this journey, Vagesh ji? And how did you get associated with Alpla?
Well, the journey was very interesting. I used to export plastic caps to US way back in 97, 98. I was the first Indian company or the first Indian entrepreneur to do that with Indian machines, Indian molds, Indian people. So Atmanirbhar Bharat, Mera Bharat Mahan, way back when a lot of such products were imported into India. And during those line trials and things like this, in early 2000, I started to hear in US that there's an Austrian company who's creating quite a havoc by entering the US markets and creating a bit of a stir, in a positive way, of course, and how they were a positive disruptor. India was ready for new technology in 2004. Blow molding was opened up to non-SSI companies, and rightfully so. And I felt we were too far behind, nearly 40, 50 years behind in technology and experience to do this all by ourselves. And I felt we needed the right partners in India for this. And I had choices, of course. Some of the top global multinationals from US were interested to partner. But this Austrian company intrigued me because I heard so much about them. So it was through my US distribution partner that I got introduced to Alpla. He flew with me to Austria, actually a week or two after his second marriage. So very nice of him, Andrew Berlin, and introduced me to the then CEO of Alpla, Helmut Scheffnicht, who was a very kind gentleman, a very strong business entrepreneur as well. He was the CEO of Senior Mr. Lehner, Alvin Lehner, who's no longer there, who started Alpla, his right-hand man. And he gave me good hearing and said, we don't think India is ready for Alpla. It would take time. And I remember telling him that, sir, with all due respect, India would never be ready for Alpla. It will be Alpla which has to be ready for India.
He said that to the wrong person.
So, to his credit, I think 4 or 5 months of conversation, and he said, I need to come to India. And he spent 3 days with us, 1 day in our plant, meeting our people, 2 days with our clients, which were common clients. All the global clients that we served in India were also the clients that they served globally. And day 3 at the airport, he told me before leaving, he says, Vagesh, when I go back, I will learn nothing new. Alpla does not have a single partner all over the world, and we do not generally believe in this model. But we believe in India, we'll make an exception. And so if you're okay, then we will go ahead. And we shook hands at Bombay airport. And then he said, come back in 2 weeks and we'll sign an agreement. I said, we already shook hands, so what is there to sign? When I get my first client, then we will come and decide how to move forward. And it was much later that I realized the shake hand was a very, very Alpla way of doing things, which was naturally forthcoming between this relationship. And since then, we have not looked back. Of course, he retired the same year, end of the year, and Gunther Lehner has since then become the chairman of the company. He was earlier the CEO, technical, while Helmut was looking after the commercial side. And Mr. Gunther Lehner has been not only a partner, but an amazing family friend. And we are very proud and privileged to be associated with him and his family over the last 15 years. So it's been quite a remarkable journey that we just got associated so quickly. But I do remember asking Helmut much later, so what made you decide? He said, well, I was in your plant. I saw your people loved you. I thought that was very cute and very sweet and very insightful. He said the way you reached out to your operators or technicians, you knew them by name and they knew you and they had respect in their eyes. And he said, when I met your clients, I could see that you were really client-centric and you had great relationship with them and they also respected you. What else could we ask for? And therefore we decided we need to go ahead. And I think that is of pre-Alpla days that I always believe that business is a medium for doing amazing things for your society and for your people, and through that for the world at large. Of course, being a for-profit institution, never losing sight of staying relevant and profitable and therefore strong and to grow, but never lose sight of two things. One is for whom you work, which is your client. Prabhu ka roop kehte hain client ko, and your own team, who is also the madhyam through whom you will serve Prabhu ka roop. So I think that has been our genesis over the last 15 years, and that has been also the strength of Alpla for the last 65 years. So it's been an amazing.
I think so. The values as well as the character, I think it merged, and you've broken the molds in the way you even started this relationship and how beautifully it's been carried. And I think it's the meeting of the minds, the meeting of the values, the meeting how you see your own employees and the business that has borne such beautiful results. Proud to hear that, sir. What is the market share of Alpla worldwide and in India? Ballpark?
So Alpla works in three verticals. We are in extrusion blow molding, where we are market leaders globally. And when we say market leaders, we don't get terribly excited in being number 1 or 2 or 3, because that's all mathematics, and statistics is half art and half science. So, but let's say in that area we are quite strong. We are certainly in the top. We are also in PT, both in injection and blowing side completely. We are also right up there in the top 1 or 2 companies. And injection molding, which we started much later, 25 years back, we concentrated primarily on custom closure systems versus making one size fit all. And by now we're in the top 5 worldwide. So we have leadership positions in these 3 verticals. It's very difficult to define a global market share, but let's say in all these 3 sectors, we have leadership positions. So, and we are constantly looking at how to be more relevant and more client-centric, business-centric, and consumer-centric. So not just who's our principal buyer, but who's their buyer. So when we together aim to bring joy and energy to the final consumer who picks up the products of our clients, then we win together. And in that journey, I think we've been reasonably successful in the last 15 years of my association. And of course, in the last, many decades since Alpla has been in the business. And in India, of course, we have started a very short journey of 15 years from less than 5 million euro, now well over 100 million euro. So in India, also in extrusion blow, we are clearly market leaders. In injection, we are more than 2x or 2.5x of our next competitor. In fact, we are the third or fourth largest entity in injection worldwide within Alpla. And in two-color closures, we are the largest producer in the world.
Mhm.
So these are some things we are very proud of for being technically way ahead. And that's what excites us, to bring relevance to our consumers.
Excellent. So going is great. Out of the verticals of personal care, home care, food, beverages, OTC, pharma, lube and others, hygiene, nutraceuticals, which is the vertical which has shown the maximum demand increase during the pandemic?
So pandemic has been, I think, has put all the BCP plannings and all various other crisis plans really to dust, because no crisis plan has ever been envisaged to combat this sort of a crisis. But having said this, obviously high value non-critical consumer products have been the most hurt. Also, mid and low value, non-immediately relevant products have been hurt. So, for example, beverages, which are what I would call as fun beverages or sodas, they have been hurt very badly globally. In India, even more, because 70% of these are consumed outside the house, either in cinema halls or theaters or fun products. But apart from that, a lot of other high value products have been hurt. But on the other side, personal care products like soaps and liquid hand wash or even solid soap bars, but liquid soap even more because you don't touch this bar. Sanitizers, of course, is a unique category that was non-existent, nearly non-existent till nobody had heard of it in January of 2020, and nobody doesn't know it now. So that category has exploded, and yeah, along with it, a lot of other things like in the Indian context, जिन्होंने कभी च्यवनप्राश नहीं खाया था वो दिन में 3 बार चाट रहे हैं, और you know, and maybe it's not so bad because it's a good thing for boosting your immunity, and so food supplements and various things have done extremely well. As far as we are concerned, I think this was an amazing period to recognize that our deep faith in our people, and recognizing that the business is never about machines, plant, buildings, technology. Any business has 3 principal verticals: people, people, and people. That's it. The rest is all detail. So, given this situation, the ability to repurpose our company during complete lockdown, and I speak first of India and then the rest of the world, was stunning. You'll be surprised, 23rd was the lockdown. Between 24th and 27th, by and large, with the exception of one plant, all our plants were running. People were not afraid to show up because our SOPs were already in place by first week and second week of Feb. We had already put all the social distancing norms, sanitization norms, cleaning norms, you know, reducing the people that travel in our company buses. By 20th Feb, we had completely zero visitor policy, and 24th Feb, we had a global no travel policy. This was because we had the impact of the experience of our China operations kicking in by end of Jan. So we were already into what I call as secure, strategize, and strike back mode. So secure your people first, the rest is detail. So we had put all these processes, we doubled our insurance covers, we put in a lot of other factors in play. Second was to re-strategize about what are we going to do tomorrow, day after, next 2 weeks, next 1 month, and then strike back with all that repurposing of capabilities. So during this very tough March and April period, where most of the companies bled heavily, and we also lost, in the Indian context alone, cash losses of millions of dollars. But this was the time when we told our people, we are in this together. And if anyone will be hurt, out of this, the people would be the last, you know. So everyone worked on repurposing, and we were able to launch new products while under lockdown in 3 to 4 weeks. So we're talking about sanitizers. Alpla did not produce one single sanitizer on 1st of March. We were already producing millions on 1st of April and tens of millions by 1st of May throughout the lockdown. And we were also doing a lot of work with governments in various, not writing a check, which was also useful, but actually working with various collectorates where we operate and where we don't, and trying to see who needs what. So surprisingly, in one of the collectorate, they had sanitizer liquid available because of repurposing some alcohol companies, but they didn't have bottles. So we organized millions of bottles and caps free of cost. We said, let's help. We also helped them to fill it on site and distribute. We had some other collectorate who said, we have by now enough of hand sanitizing, but we don't have bleaching powder. And so we organized bleaching powder, but we had also our limits on how much we could afford. So they said, we can't source. Can you source for us? We're willing to pay. So we organized 4 or 5 trucks, and they paid for another 10 trucks, and we threw our people. It's again people. Our sourcing team had some amazing insights. They were able to do end-to-end connects, and getting all those trucks in early April from anywhere, from point A to B, was difficult. So long story short, thanks to our amazing teams, we were able to repurpose. We were able to scale up productivity. I don't know if you know, we also contract manufacture liquid soap in India, and we do this for one of the top MNCs. We work for Unilever, and here also people worked crazily, increasing outputs by 3x. And the topic was not about production, output, business. Our topic was every truck has 9 tons, which means 9,000, which means 18,000 packs, which means 72,000 people can wash their hands for 2 weeks. So we used to put a placard that 10 trucks, 7.5 लाख आदमियों के हाथ धुलने का हमने आज इंतजाम किया। और ये जो मोटिवेशन था ना, लोग दिल से उन्होंने इतनी गजब काम किया। तो 22nd June we had a COVID Heroes program, and we honored 113 people with plastic PET bottles with label पे उनका फोटो लगा हुआ है individually, and हमने कहा you are our hero, and we have given financial bonuses to nearly half of our employees who showed up in the plants. Not that the other half didn't want to, but we wanted only those who are absolutely necessary. So there was a lot of repurposing, and the same thing happened in Europe, in US, in LATAM. I remember we doing some amazing things out of Thailand for supporting Southeast Asia. So if you trust from your core of your heart, your people, and if you invest deeply, not just financially, but if you invest your soul in your people, they will do things that you'll be surprised. And so we've been happily surprised with the growth that we've seen. I wouldn't say growth, but let's say the repurposing of capabilities that we've seen, because a lot of other things fell down, but a lot of new things came up, and that has really been great help for us to serve the society at large during this pandemic.
I think the examples that you've shared, it is really enlightening to hear. It is not, heroes don't come pre-made. It is situations that, and you provide them the opportunity, and it's going with the philosophy and the leadership that you and your management team has provided, that has made them real heroes. And the way that you kind of brought them all along, it's really nice to hear. And yes, before the interview, I did expect that Vageshji will share a lot of walking the talk kind of examples. It was not, you would not have planned earlier that this is the way you're going to go to collectorates, deal them not only by providing them what they wanted, but also help them in sourcing. Amazing stories. I can go on, but we have a limited time, so I'm going to come to the next.
Yeah, sure.
As far as circular economy and sustainability, Vageshji, what is Alpla's plan worldwide, since you operated so many continents and such a conscious company? And how many things can be replicated in India? Because there is a time lag. We are behind the curve as far as the policy implementation of recycling is concerned in India.
So as far as Alpla is concerned, we have also, along with some of our key clients who have led the way, signed the Ellen MacArthur Foundation pledge, and which means that over the few million tons of material that we consume, 100% will be recyclable by 2025, which not only means the polymers, but every substrate, every master batch, every ink, every polybag, anything that is going to go through our cycle is 100% recyclable. And we have also made a commitment, formal commitment to ourselves that, and to the world at large, that we will have 25% PCR usage. Now, for us as a company on today's consumption, that is 500,000 tons. And in terms of how we are going to walk the talk on this globally, you'll be surprised to know that we've been doing this globally since 1995. We set up our first joint venture with Coca-Cola, FEMSA, it's public domain information, long back, for producing 15 to 20,000 tons of PET PCR material, and we've been using this. Already we are producing over 150,000 tons of PCR. Most of it is in Europe and partly in Mexico, but we've already announced a new JV in Thailand, which would also bring in nearly 50,000 tons plus in this domain of PCR. And we have a plan that every region will work on this. And India, we were likely to have probably put up our own PCR facility next year. But with this pandemic, we are going to push this out to probably 2022. But we will also do this in 2020. But I have a comment that India actually in the journey of recycling is not behind. It is one of the most leading countries in the world. And this is a misnomer that we are behind the curve, because which country in the world can claim that nearly 86 to 92% of our PET is recycled, and this is even 3 years back, before the big noise on recycling, because our society, our ecosystem is on collection mode. हमारे यहाँ अखबार भी बिकता है. So we have a big problem, of course, that we use a lot of sachets and flexibles, because we need to find a way to serve our our population, and we cannot ask them to buy a 100-rupee shampoo. They don't have the disposable income. So this medium has been amazing. So we need to find solutions for this. And I believe our bigger challenge is with the waste from hardware waste, etc. That's even more dangerous for India, because plastic तो अधिकांश जो है ना वो physically रास्तों पे पड़ा रहता है, ये तकलीफ है. Of course, we still have to do a lot, we will, but the complete IT-related, hardware-related waste is dumped and causes wastewater, causes water table impact. And I believe that needs to be done. And the government is doing a lot of work in that direction. And I hope to see more results in that domain as well. But surely, I think everyone wants to see ourselves to be more sensible. And here, I think civic sense needs to improve, क्योंकि हमारे यहाँ recycling की problem से ज़्यादा फेंकने की and कचरा करने की problem है. And I think we are in this together. But my hope is with the children. बच्चे जो हैं वो नहीं करते हैं. उनके माँ बाप फेंकते हैं, पर बच्चे मना करते हैं कि आप क्यों फेंक रहे हो. तो मुझे लगता है कि अपना भाग्य काफी आगे का जो है ना, our future is bright.
We always say that our our country as well as our growth is in the next generation, and yes, I think they are much more conscious. And ये pandemic ने sir, they have connected everyone so digitally that it is irrespective whether someone is in a village or they are in a small town or they are in a metro. They all have got एक balance हो गया है, platform एकदम equal हो गया है. So yes, I totally agree with what you've said, and I hope the other SUPs and also the hardware shall go the PT way, as they have shown as the way forward.
Absolutely.
Vagesh ji, you've been recently also appointed as the Chief Engagement Officer of Alpla Worldwide. आपकी hats बहुत सारी हैं, Vagesh, duty होने वाला है आपके अगले साल. What are your plans in this new role?
So this, since last 7, 8 years or 10 years, I've been informally quite involved in engaging with various clients outside of India as also with various businesses. And Alpla is a family company, so we are not, we are hugely flexible and we are not bound by the classical structures of a classical public limited company where they will say, Kyare, India ka shareholder hai, why should we involve him globally? Here, I'm really proud and privileged to have such amazing partners who say, yeah, if we can do something, why not? So this is my transitional year. By end of the year, I hope to delegate a lot of my responsibilities to my team. To be honest, they already do everything. I probably am more of a disruptor in their routine than anything else. So, and that's why they are very happy if I'm, on the board of CII Telangana for education or on the governing council of Indian Institute of Packaging. So, but on a more serious note, I think Alpla board feels, and I concur with them over the last couple of years, we've felt that we need to engage deeper on out of box, in fact, to break the box and see what can we do which we haven't done, whether it is deepening current relationship or creating new ones, and not regular business growth and business development. We have the right structure for that. We have amazing people doing that. But can we do some things which we don't do today? And can we do them differently? So the map is an absolute whiteboard. Of course, this is at early stage, so I'm also connecting the dots. And Sir Mundate Ule Pade Wali Baat hai ki I got announced on 28th of Jan and I was out of country on 25th of February for the first trip internationally, and by 5th March I was back and I've been locked down. So everyone is rolling on the floor and laughing that they were expecting me to be all over the world, and here I am for the last 4.5 months at home. But I hope that with this new role, we will look at harnessing our abilities, especially in the field of innovation. I'm also now on the innovation team and also part of the innovation global board to see what can we do better to connect on the even unexpressed needs of our clients and of the consumer at large. So it's a very exciting opportunity, and I hope over the next year and a half, 2 years, we will be able to together see Haji hua bahut kuch acha. But it's not me that will make a defining difference. Alpla has been in this journey. You might have heard already the paperboard company Boboco, which was formed by Billerud Korsnäs and Alpla. Billerud Korsnäs is a huge Swedish paper group, and we have created a joint venture for making the first paper bottle worldwide. And this is already in the news. And भगवान मालिक है उसका क्या निष्कर्ष निकलेगा, but जो भी होगा अच्छा ही निकलेगा. And yeah, so we're doing some interesting things, and I hope the next few years will be hugely exciting.
I'm sure, sir, that all these positions that you have earned, they have been very well earned. There's a lot of trust that comes with the kind of output that you have given. And also you being on the board of innovation and all other activities will also be a huge gainer for our industry, because whatever is happening worldwide, you will also be implementing it in India parallelly. So, there will be no time lag. So we are happy and looking forward for that. Vagesi, you did mention that there was a huge turnaround in kind of examples you gave for the sanitizer bottles. Like March, you were almost zero, and April, you were doing millions of bottles. Which are the other innovations that you come to your mind, which actually came as a need of the hour because of the pandemic?
So I think need of the hour on pandemic had not just product architecture, but also supply chain and creating new possibilities in various ways across the world. So a lot of dots were connected very quickly. So this was not the time for product innovation. It was more a time for supply chain disruption in order to meet the emerging requirements. And at the same time, when there are no people available, and at the same time, when resources are constrained, raw materials nahi hai, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai. So this was more of a supply chain challenge in this few months. But in terms of course, as things settle down, the energy will be back on on hardcore innovation, I'm sure.
बिल्कुल बढ़िया. You also mentioned Atmanirbharta, Bharat ki Atmanirbharta. Today is the right day to talk about it. Are you planning to expand capacity in India more than the 8 plants? And are there blueprint plans to then export from India to overseas that a lot of other companies are also doing?
So India already exports hundreds and millions of closures to nearly 12 countries, if not more. And we are very proud of that. And this comes from even the pre-Alpla legacy of my late 90s exports. So that goes on. And we are already, during this pandemic, we were already in process of establishing our largest investments in India ever in the last 15 years. And we reviewed them, and we still felt that we should stay on course. So we are setting up a fairly large, huge integrated facility on the West Coast. We are already in Silvassa, but a mega facility is coming up, and it's running at full steam during this pandemic. And we should be up and running in Q1 next year. We are also installing our third global injection tool room worldwide in India. This would be addressing global needs within the Alpla group and externally as well. And that should be up and running in October. It would have been ready in June, July, but I think it got pushed back by a few months. So already we are talking about sizable investments, and we have some other plans which are currently below the radar. But my board and I feel very bullish about India, and this, of course, not just from the point of view of being in India. I have also had situations where I was at times a little bit more cautious on investments in Indian context, and recommended more investments in other geographies where it made more sense. But I think I'm still cautiously optimistic for the next few years that these investments would still pan out. So short answer, we will continue to expand, but our model is very partnership oriented. We will expand where there is a need and where our partners and our customers hold hands together with us, then we will do.
Wonderful. I'm learning so many new words. Of course, cautiously optimistic was there. And I said, instead of saying thinking of the box, I've learned this new thing of saying breaking the box, right? And except saying entertainment, we are coming to people when it comes to business. So Vageshji, it's a lesson for me, this session itself.
We all learn from each other.
Yes. You are pretty socially very active. On the board of CII Telangana and also on governing council of IIP and also chairman of YPO. What is your thought on the current political situation?
So I think the current political situation of India is vastly impacted by the current COVID crisis to begin with, and the situation across the world, to be honest, is full of caution. But on an honest note, I think the government seems to be trying to make a tremendous honest effort in trying to do their bit, and I hope this would support the industry and also the people to come through it. Having said this, I think there has been too much of caution, and there could be more opportunity for कुछ और बुलंदी के साथ में कुछ काम हो सकता था, जो मुझे लगता है कि still an area of opportunity for the government at center and also in various state governments. So that's still an area of opportunity, I believe.
If I would request you to be a little more specific on the course corrections, that would probably help, because a lot of policymakers also do watch this show.
So course correction में क्या है कि there's been a lot of talk about supporting MSMEs and companies that have done badly. So there's a lot of intent, and I have to say with all honesty that intent is very strong and very genuine. But on ground, I'm so, like you said, associated with so many people. I hear non-stop thousands and thousands of people are still battling their head in getting any kind of relief. And it's happening, but it's happening at too slow a pace. And the secondly, some of the things well-meaning hurt us in a way that was neither intended by the policymakers and not expected. कि जब 2 महीने के बाद में जब थोड़ा थोड़ा जब लॉकडाउन खुलना चालू हुआ, उसके पहले मान लीजिए शुरुआत में ही लोगों को ट्रेनों में भर भर के गांव भेजने की प्रक्रिया करते तो सुविधा रहती, लोग चले जाते. And when the industry opened, there were no people. So this has been, unfortunately, I think nobody was prepared, not that anyone had anything negative in mind. Good intents were there. So I think the course correction now is to essentially put money in the hands of consumers. क्योंकि जब तक लोगों के पास पैसा नहीं होगा खर्चने के लिए, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. So I've heard recently direct money transfers in the hands of account holders. That's a good beginning. And also schemes like Manrega and others need to be dovetailed with private sector also. That if you employ, let's say if somebody is employing 1,000 people and he has to let go 500 people, and उनको कहेंगे साहब आप उनको continue रखिए, you will be considered under Manrega for the next 6 months. As an example, now what the legalities are, I am not particularly clear, but इंडस्ट्री को भी थोड़ा मौका मिले कि लोगों को काम पे रख सकें और कुछ सब्सिडी दूसरे तरीकों से आए, नॉट बाय पुरानी कहावत है कि पहले खोदने के पैसे दो और फिर भरने के पैसे दो. तो इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग दैट, use them in things that are more value adding. But I guess this is a big topic in itself that can consume hours and weeks of discussion, and everyone will have a point of view.
No, but very, very well said, because it has to be integrated, industry as well as the people who will get. Well said there.
There has to be more trust in the industry. अभी भी मुझे लगता है कि there's always from a needle of suspicion देखा जाता है कि business है, industry है. अभी जो उद्योग करता है, चाहे वो 10 आदमियों को नौकरी दे रहा हो या 20 को या 20,000 को, I think they are also national heroes. जब if somebody is a job creator, he is part of our national heroism. We don't treat our business community as national heroes. We treat them with disdain and disrespect. This is completely very saddening. And this is a subject that needs to be debated more in public forum. And of course, if somebody is dishonest, and that can be a businessman, that can be a politician, that can be a public servant, that can be anyone, the law should apply equally. But ये एक माइंड में रखना कि बिजनेसमैन डिसऑनेस्ट है और राजनीतिक ये सब प्रभु के रूप में है, ये बड़ी गलत बात है. और ये बड़ा आवश्यक है कि सोसाइटी नीड्स टू सी अ जॉब क्रिएटर इन द राइट व्यू. मैंने जो भी किया है ना, मेरे पास कुछ था और मैं जाऊंगा तब भी सब यही छोड़ के जाऊंगा, ठीक है ना जी. तो उसमें जिनका भला हो रहा है उनको इस बात से मतलब people should understand, and those who do more for society, I believe they need a wider applause and greater recognition.
Well said, sir. I totally agree to you to the last cent.
Yeah.
Bakesh, there's a lot of mismatch between the packaging industry and the academia. You hold positions at IP also. What are the action plans that need to be taken urgently to bridge this gap?
That's a huge comment. Actually, I do wish to tell you there's a lot of inertia in this area. And not only packaging, generally any manufacturing area, we see that, engineers coming out and they know nothing, बिचारों को रटा के एग्जाम पास करके आते हैं. they don't know electrical engineers, they don't know how to even change a bulb. उसके लिए भी वो नुक्कड़ से एक मिस्त्री को बुलाना पड़ता है. तो we need more practical education, and skill development is a big thing, and I'm glad that the government of India is hugely focusing on skill development. And in packaging, we've just had some conversations with the government of India, Ministry of Commerce. They want not just 300-400 students coming out of IIP who should be educated. They are looking at how can we impact 2-3 lakh students. So there is a wide interest in doing this. I believe this will require, again, a skill-oriented mindset. And of course, industry will also need to, move towards, along with state government. So we have just signed, my company has signed an agreement with the Telangana Board of Technical Education, along with CII, for starting a program where we are doing technical education of 40 young students. And plus, we have invested nearly 10 crores for having the first dual education program, which will get started on 1st September. It will benefit only 10 students to begin with, and फिर 25. पर वो जो 25 हैं, वो 3-4 साल बाद they can work anywhere in the world on those CNC machines, and उनके हाथ में मैजिक होगा. तो education needs to become more functional, and it needs to be more skill oriented. And मैं समझता हूँ इसमें भी काफी तब्दीलियां आ रही हैं, and probably we will see a lot of बदलाव in the next 4-5 years. The current government is really pushing this in a very strong way. It's not very noisy push, but it's very clearly we are seeing this, and it's really laudable.
Agreed there. As far as CSR is concerned, I remember when you used to speak at my injection blow molding PT rotomolding summit, when we used to discuss कि आप क्या topic पे बात करेंगे, तो आप बोलते थे topic है ना, सब लोग बोल रहे हैं ना, मैं तो CSR पे बात करूँगा. That's very close to your heart. अब बिना बोले you would have done a lot. But आप थोड़ा हमारे साथ share कीजिए वागेश जी, because that also gives some kind of motivation for our industry people to kind of take example from.
So actually, CSR is a very restrained term, because CSR is corporate social responsibility. मैं समझता हूँ PSR पे ध्यान देना चाहिए, that is personal social responsibility. And collection of personal social responsibility, PSR of thousands of people becomes CSR. So, and it of course is good that it's a mandate कि भाई 2% of profit वगैरह आप करें, which is all good. But I believe if you have the ability to do, you should, and it should not depend on your ability, on your profitability. There have been many years when we have not been profitable, or but we could still afford to do some things for the social environment. तो करना चाहिए. ये this is not because of somebody is watching. This is our need. And एक गरीब देश में हो जहाँ के आज भी 120 करोड़ की आबादी में 30 करोड़ के आबादी जो है they are below poverty line, तो बहुत ही शर्म की बात है अगर हम अपने जीवन में कुछ ना कर सकें. तो during this pandemic हमने भी सोचा कि भाई when we started to do some things, I mean we were also challenged internally. Our guys said, you know, we are losing crores, you know, and this is the time. मैंने कहा यार अब जहाँ 5-10 सही वहाँ एक आध और सही, तो और अब नहीं करेंगे तो कब करेंगे,
सही बोला.
और it was very deeply satisfying to do those things. I can't put a you know numerical number on how to equate that pleasure. मैंने बहुत पहले एक बार कभी कहा था कि एक बार मदर टेरेसा ने मुझे, when we did some project for her when I was a student, she had said you are blessed because you are in a position to serve, but do not forget those who gave you this privilege. 1980 में उन्होंने मुझे कहा था जब मैं 19 साल का था. तो we have to always remember that जो आपको privilege देते हैं कि आप उनकी सर्विस कर सकते हैं, उनका धन्यवाद अदा करिए, because they are giving you this pleasure of feeling good. So that's been the motto for us. So quietly we keep doing. You will not see any check giving ceremony to any, but quietly a lot going on. We want to keep it that way. Mrs. Dikshit, my wife and my business partner, she's also hugely involved in this, not from today, but for last 3 decades. We've been supporting schools in Hyderabad with 150-200 students with midday meals for I don't know how many years now. वगैरह वगैरह. पर ये these are just a drop in the ocean. ये हमारा, पर मुझे अभी भी याद है by the way आपके प्रोग्राम में जो वो 10 लाख रुपए हम लोग ने राउंड टेबल फाउंडेशन को भेजे थे, वो अभी फाउंडेशन के रिकॉर्ड में.
But I'm saying वागेश जी, आप इतनी सरलता से, ये actually also my father says that it comes from within. जो अंदर बंदे का प्रिंसिपल होता है, if they want to do a good deed and quietly do it as a way of life, not as a forced thing or not to show off, it goes a very long way. और लगता भी वही है because वो continuity में रहता है, वो किसी के मतलब it doesn't दिखावे में नहीं आता है. And I think you're a leading example of that. I've seen it in my own conference, leading example in that. Vakesh ji, as your new role as the honorary council, मैं तो honorable भी बोलना चाहूंगी, of Austria for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, आपकी क्या duties होती है? What is expected out of it?
So this is a great honor and privilege to be appointed as honorary council for state of Telangana and the adjoining state of Andhra Pradesh. So this process takes a long time and it needs to be proposed by the government of Austria at the highest level, and it needs to be approved also, at the highest level in India. So the primary function is, of course, to support the engagements between Austria and these two states within India and also within India beyond these two states, whether it's business exchange, cultural exchange, people-to-people exchange, to be basically somebody who can induce this and act as a catalyst. पर जो मोस्ट क्रिटिकल रोल भी एक रहता है कि मान लीजिए कभी भी कोई समस्या में पड़ जाए, any Austrian national in this state or this city or in the adjoining state, then they can reach out to my office, and I have already one of my colleagues, she is German speaking, appointed already 1 year back, so she speaks fluent German. So 24/7, if anyone is in trouble, so we can help out without anyone being there. And already a pandemic time, we had 7 or 8 nationals from Austria who were stuck here. We reached out, we tried to get them repatriated, we provided them support, and in a very timely manner. And I was really pleased to see that the foreign minister of Austria sent us a letter, or sent me a letter of commendation, which was very sweet of him. So I see this as an opportunity to really bring value and energy between Austria and India in a good way. And of course, on a lighter note, this gives me privilege to attend a lot of dinners. And I love food.
You have to wear those bow tie neckties, the bows on those down black coat dinners, as they call them.
Black tie dinners. Hopefully, not too many, but doesn't matter. Whatever you wear, you get good food.
Vakesh, but that doesn't show. What have you done? I know that you've got huge amount of responsibilities that you've taken. I don't know how do you do it? That's a different story. But you're looking very fit. Is it the lack of traveling that has kind of given this new avatar to you?
So lack of traveling has been amazing. Somebody asked me, when did you stay at home for 4 months in a row? I said, maybe when I was 6 months old. So, but yeah, I think last 4 months have been transformational. I've been working out. I've been doing things I haven't done for 30, 40 years. Singing, playing music, yoga, and lost a lot of weight. All my physical parameters are exciting my doctor beyond end. So yeah, I think this 4 months have been amazing from a personal journey point of view. And I hope I can continue this beyond these coming months and keep my daily routines now not slip away from me.
Yes, I think knowing you will not. Coming to personal, Vakesh, one learning that you want to share with your viewers, which you have taken away from this pandemic personally.
I think the learning is that, we always underestimate in the past what is really truly important to us, which is our health, our own character deep inside, because that gets challenged in any situation like this. And of course, people who really love you and care for you, your family and your closest friends. I think they are always underestimated, and during this period, you realize and you start to estimate them properly. And then the other learning is how much we overestimate things which are really low on the larger context. I mean, log kya kahenge, samaj, society, ityadi. power, money, fame. I think people across the board realize the futility of a lot of these things. They are all important, but they are they're not the most important. They are somewhere as methods to do a change, to impact the society. पर इस पेंडेमिक में ये सीखने को मिला कि अपने ऊपर how not to give away things that are most important to yourself.
So all our bucket lists and all our priority lists have completely got changed during this pandemic.
Yeah, absolutely.
वागेश जी, आपको स्वतंत्रता दिवस की बहुत शुभकामनाएं, and हम आपको बाय नहीं कह सकते. Before you enlighten the spirit of patriotism with your passion of singing with our viewers, भारत माता को नमन है, बहुत सलाम है, पर आपके 2 शब्द तरन्नुम के साथ.
तो स्वतंत्रता दिवस की शुभकामनाएं आपको भी, 74वां स्वतंत्रता दिवस. और मुझे हिंदी साहित्य से विशेष प्रेम है, ये आप जानती हैं. तो जयशंकर प्रसाद जी ने, जो रामायणी के रचयिता और भारत के महाकवि थे, उन्होंने एक बहुत ही छोटी सी कविता लिखी थी, जो मैं देख रहा था कि कहीं उसका सिंगिंग वर्जन है क्या. तो अभी रिसेंटली तो मुझे दिखाई नहीं दिया कोई, but I remember this from my school days, so I'll try to use that tune, and it's in very tatsam Hindi, so I hope you and the viewers would like it. It goes as follows. हिमाद्रि तुंग श्रृंग से प्रबुद्ध शुद्ध भारती, स्वयं प्रभा समुज्ज्वला स्वतंत्रता पुकारती. हिमाद्रि तुंग श्रृंग से प्रबुद्ध शुद्ध भारती, स्वयं प्रभा समुज्ज्वला स्वतंत्रता पुकारती. अमर्त्य वीर पुत्र हो दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ सोच लो, अमर्त्य वीर पुत्र हो दृढ़ प्रतिज्ञ सोच लो. प्रशस्त पुण्य पंथ है, बढ़े चलो बढ़े चलो. असंख्य कीर्ति रश्मियां विकीर्ण दिव्य दाहसी, असंख्य कीर्ति रश्मियां विकीर्ण दिव्य दाहसी. सपूत मातृभूमि के रुको न शूर साहसी, आराती सैन्य सिंधु में सुबर्व अग्नि से चलो. प्रवीर हो जई बनो बढ़े चलो बढ़े चलो. हिमाद्रि तुंग श्रृंग से.
आपने स्वतंत्रता दिवस को खास बनाया, and I'm saying that it's so much of pleasure and connecting with you and sharing your views with our viewers, your opinion on certain very important parameters, your insights into different business parameters, and with someone, Vagesh ji, who's very strong in his character, who actually began a business and a partnership with a shake hand, who values the honor and the integrity of a shake hand more than any contract. It has been a pleasure speaking to you. और आपको देखते मैं हमेशा यही समझती हूँ, मैं अकेला ही जा रहा था गालिब, मगर लोग साथ चलते गए और कारवा बनता गया. With that,
very nice. और इसमें मैं ये भी कहना चाहूँगा, जो मुझे याद पड़ता है, आपके ही कार्यक्रम में मैंने एक this was not something I had written before, but I wrote then and there and said कि कारवां में चलने वाले आगे वालों की धूल और पीछे वालों का धक्का खाते हैं. कारवां में चलने वाले आगे वाले की धूल और पीछे वालों का धक्का खाते हैं. कुछ नई राह बनाइए, कुछ नए रास्ते बनाइए.
बहुत बढ़िया sir. With that encouragement and that kind of optimism, we are going to say bye to you. We are going to see you soon on the other side. Until then, stay well and stay fit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.